I can touch the sky, my father!
Have you ever looked up at the bright blue sky and wished you could fly like a bird? Today we will hear a very old and famous story from ancient Greece. It is a tale about a clever inventor and his young son. They wanted to escape their island prison by building real wings to fly through the air. Welcome to Fairy Tales English Journey. In this video, you will learn English while enjoying the magical myth of Daedalus and Icarus. This story teaches us about the dangers of having too much ambition. It also shows what happens when we do not listen to wise advice. Let us begin our journey into the ancient world of wonder. Long ago, on the beautiful island of Crete, lived a man named Daedalus. Daedalus was the most brilliant inventor and builder in the entire world. He could make statues that looked like they were alive. He could build amazing machines that helped people do their daily work. Everyone admired his incredible mind and his highly skilled hands. The king of Crete was a powerful man named Minos. King Minos asked Daedalus to build a giant maze called the Labyrinth. This maze was so complicated that no one could ever find their way out. The king wanted to hide a terrible monster inside this maze. Daedalus worked very hard and built the perfect endless maze. However, King Minos was a very cruel and greedy ruler. He was afraid that Daedalus would tell other people the secret of the maze. To keep the secret safe, King Minos locked Daedalus inside a tall stone tower. He also locked up the young son of Daedalus, whose name was Icarus. They were trapped with no escape. Daedalus and Icarus looked out from the high window of their tower every single day. They could see the vast blue ocean surrounding the island of Crete. King Minos controlled all the ships on the water. No boat would ever dare to help them escape. The clever inventor knew they could never leave by crossing the sea. But Daedalus was not a man who gave up easily. He watched the seagulls soaring through the sky above the tall stone tower. He noticed how the birds caught the wind under their wings. A brilliant idea suddenly sparked inside his clever mind. If they could not escape by land or sea, they would escape by air. Daedalus began to gather feathers that the birds dropped near their tower window. Young Icarus helped his father collect these feathers every morning. They found large feathers from eagles and small, soft feathers from doves. Daedalus arranged the feathers in a row from shortest to longest. He carefully shaped them to look exactly like real bird wings. To hold the large feathers together, Daedalus used strong thread. For the smaller feathers, he used thick yellow wax. He melted the wax with a candle and pressed the feathers firmly into place. He bent the finished wings to give them a gentle curve. The wings looked completely natural and ready to catch the strong ocean breeze. Icarus watched his father work with wide and amazed eyes. Sometimes the boy would play with the loose feathers that blew around the room. He would press his thumb into the soft yellow wax. Icarus did not realize the serious danger they were in. He thought building the wings was just a fun and exciting new game. Finally, Daedalus finished making 2 pairs of beautiful wings. He strapped the larger pair onto his own arms and shoulders. He flapped his arms and felt the wind lift his feet off the stone floor. The invention worked perfectly. He then carefully attached the smaller pair of wings to the arms of his young son Icarus. Before they stepped onto the window ledge, Daedalus looked deeply into the eyes of his son. He needed to give Icarus a very important warning. Daedalus spoke in a serious and stern voice. He told Icarus that flying was dangerous and required careful attention. The young boy nodded, but he was too excited to truly understand the warning. Daedalus said, "You must fly at a middle height, my dear son. If you fly too low, the ocean spray will make your feathers wet and heavy. You will fall into the dark water and drown. You must stay above the waves and follow my exact path." Icarus promised to listen, but his mind was already wandering. Then Daedalus gave his second and most important rule. He said, "You must never fly too high. If you fly too close to the sun, the intense heat will melt the wax. Your feathers will fall apart and you will crash. Keep a steady pace between the sea and the sun. Do not let your ambition grow." With the warnings given, Daedalus stepped up to the edge of the high tower window. He took a deep breath and jumped into the empty air. He flapped his arms gracefully and began to glide. Icarus followed right behind him. The young boy leaped from the stone window and felt the sudden rush of the cool wind. They were flying. It was a magical and unbelievable feeling. The people on the ground looked up and thought they were seeing real gods in the sky. Daedalus flew with steady and careful movements. He kept his eyes on the horizon and stayed right in the middle path. He constantly looked back to check on his son. Icarus was having the time of his life. The wind rushed past his face and ruffled his hair. He felt completely free from the dark tower and the cruel king. He flapped his wings harder and felt himself rise higher into the bright sky. The sheer joy of flying filled his young heart with pure, thrilling excitement. At first, Icarus remembered the words of his father and stayed close behind him. They passed over green islands and beautiful blue waters. But soon the thrill of the flight made Icarus feel powerful and bold. He felt like he could conquer the entire sky. He wanted to go faster and reach higher than any human had ever gone. Icarus began to beat his wings with wild ambition. He left the safe middle path and soared upward toward the glowing sun. Daedalus turned around and saw his son rising higher and higher. The father shouted in pure terror. He begged Icarus to come back down to safety. But the rushing wind drowned out his desperate cries. The boy was completely deaf to the warnings of his father. He was intoxicated by the incredible height and the magnificent view. He wanted to touch the golden sun itself. Icarus reached higher into the warm and glowing light. He ignored the growing heat on his back and arms. His ambition had completely blinded him to the real danger. As Icarus flew closer to the sun, the air grew very hot. The thick yellow wax holding his wings together began to soften. Slowly, the wax started to melt and drip down his arms. One by one, the small feathers began to fall away. They drifted down like gentle snow toward the dark blue ocean far below. Icarus finally noticed the missing feathers and felt a sudden wave of panic. He flapped his arms frantically, but there were not enough feathers left to catch the wind. The remaining wax turned into hot liquid. The beautiful wings completely fell apart in the sky. Icarus had nothing left to hold him up in the thin air. With a terrified cry, Icarus began to fall. He tumbled down through the bright sky toward the cold, deep water. He reached out his bare arms, but he could only grab empty air. Daedalus watched in absolute horror as his beloved son plummeted downward. The father could do nothing to save his foolish and overly ambitious boy. Icarus hit the dark blue water with a heavy splash. The ocean swallowed him whole, and he never returned to the surface. Daedalus flew down and circled the spot where his son had fallen. All he found were a few loose feathers floating gently on the cold waves. The brilliant inventor wept bitterly for his lost son. Daedalus cursed his own clever hands and his amazing invention. He realized that human beings were never meant to fly like birds. He named the sea around that area the Icarian Sea in honor of his poor son. With a heavy and broken heart, Daedalus continued his long, lonely flight to the safe island of Sicily alone. When Daedalus finally landed safely, he took off his beautiful wings. He built a grand temple to honor the ancient gods. Inside the temple, he hung up his wings forever. He promised never to fly again. The cost of his invention had been far too high. He had lost the person he loved most in the world. This tragic story of Daedalus and Icarus is very famous. It has been told for thousands of years to teach important lessons. Now let us analyze the deeper meaning behind this ancient myth. We will explore what this fairy tale teaches us about life. We will also learn some valuable English vocabulary along our educational journey today. The most obvious lesson is about the danger of extreme ambition. Ambition is the desire to achieve great things. Having some ambition is good because it helps us reach our goals. Daedalus used his ambition to invent a brilliant way to escape. But Icarus let his ambition grow completely out of control when he flew too high. Icarus wanted to be like a god and touched the sun. He forgot his human limits and ignored the rules of nature. In English, we have a famous phrase that comes directly from this story. When someone takes a huge and foolish risk, we say they are flying too close to the sun. It is a warning. Flying too close to the sun means being overly greedy or arrogant. If a business person tries to make too much money too fast, they might lose everything. They flew too close to the sun. If an athlete pushes their body too hard and gets injured, they also flew too close to the sun. Balance is key. The story also teaches us about the importance of listening to wise advice. Daedalus was older and much more experienced than his young son. He understood the real dangers of the world. He gave Icarus clear and simple rules to keep him safe. But the young boy thought he knew better and ignored the wise words of his father. Children often think they are invincible and cannot be hurt. They sometimes ignore the rules set by their parents and teachers. The tragic fall of Icarus shows what can happen when we reject guidance from those who care about us. Listening to experienced people can save us from making terrible and painful mistakes in our own lives. Another interesting theme is the idea of balance and moderation. Daedalus told Icarus to fly in the middle path. He said, "Do not fly too low near the water." He also said, "Do not fly too high near the sun." The middle path represents a safe and balanced way of living. Extremes are often very dangerous choices. Flying too low represents laziness and a lack of effort. If you do not try hard enough, you will sink and fail. Flying too high represents greed and reckless behavior. If you push too hard without thinking, you will crash. The middle path requires steady effort and careful attention. It is the best way to achieve success. We can also look at the symbol of the wings. The wings represent human technology and our ability to invent new things. Daedalus used technology to solve a major problem. However, technology can be very dangerous if it is used carelessly. The story warns us to be responsible with the powerful tools we create and use today. The sun is a powerful symbol in this ancient myth. The sun gives light and life to the entire world, but it can also burn and destroy things that get too close. The sun represents ultimate power and divine authority. Icarus tried to challenge that power, and he was quickly destroyed by its intense and burning heat. Let us practice some of the important English words from this story. The first word is inventor. An inventor is a person who creates new machines or tools. Daedalus was a brilliant inventor who made the wings. Can you think of a famous inventor from your own country? Inventors change the world with their clever new ideas. Our next word is ambition. Ambition is a strong desire to do or achieve something big. Icarus had too much ambition when he tried to reach the sun. Having healthy ambition helps you study English every day. But reckless ambition can lead to poor choices. It is a very useful word to describe human behavior and goals. Another great word is warning. A warning is a statement telling someone about a possible danger. Daedalus gave his son a strict warning about the sun and the sea. Paying attention to a warning can keep you safe. Always listen when someone gives you a serious warning about a risky situation. Warnings are meant to protect you. Let us also learn the word melt. To melt means to change from a solid to a liquid because of heat. The hot sun caused the wax on the wings to melt. Ice cream will melt if you leave it outside on a warm summer day. It is a common verb used to describe changes in temperature. Our final vocabulary word is moderation. Moderation means avoiding extremes and doing things in a reasonable way. Daedalus wanted Icarus to fly with moderation. Eating candy in moderation is fine, but eating too much will make you sick. Practicing moderation helps us maintain a balanced and healthy life. It is the true secret to the middle path. Have you ever made a mistake because you did not listen to good advice? We all have moments where we act a little bit like Icarus. We get too excited and forget to be careful. Learning from our mistakes is an important part of growing up. We must learn to balance our dreams with practical common sense. Think about your own goals and dreams for the future. Are you flying in the safe middle path? Are you working hard without burning yourself out? It is wonderful to aim high and try new things. Just remember to keep your feet firmly planted on the ground. Never let your pride blind you to the real risks. The tragic tale of Daedalus and Icarus reminds us that humans are not perfect. We have brilliant minds that can invent amazing things. But we also have flaws like pride and stubbornness. Recognizing our own limits makes us wiser and stronger. True wisdom comes from knowing when to push forward and when to hold safely back. As you continue your English journey, try to use the phrase flying too close to the sun. You can use it when talking about a movie character who takes a foolish risk. You can use it when discussing historical figures who became too greedy. It will make your English sound very natural and incredibly rich with meaning. Reading ancient myths is a fantastic way to improve your language skills. These stories are full of drama and emotion. They use descriptive words that paint clear pictures in your mind. The more stories you listen to, the better your English vocabulary will become. Fairy tales make learning a new language a fun and truly magical experience. We hope you enjoyed this timeless story from ancient Greece. The image of the young boy falling from the sky is sad but unforgettable. It is a powerful reminder to respect the forces of nature. It also reminds us to respect the wisdom of our elders. Their advice is usually based on years of hard-learned lessons. Please share this video with your friends and family if you found it helpful. Discussing the story with others is a great way to practice speaking English. You can ask them what they would do if they had real wings. Would they fly low near the water, or would they try to touch the bright golden sun? Do not forget to subscribe to Fairy Tales English Journey for more amazing stories. We bring you classic tales from all around the world to help you learn. Each video is designed to expand your vocabulary and improve your listening skills. Join our growing community of learners and make your English practice a daily habit with us. Thank you so much for watching and learning with us today. Keep practicing your English and keep exploring the beautiful world of stories. Remember to aim high but always fly safely in the middle path. We will see you in the next video for another exciting adventure. Have a wonderful day and happy learning to you all.